Okay, I'm back. Hopefully the lighting is better. Just had to get to a new spot. So I'm gonna wait till everyone gets on here and then we'll get started. Have a great topic today. Let me know if you can hear me. And I'll be looking down at my notes while I'm doing this. I even have props today to show you. So let me know if you can hear me. I am not. I'm not seeing. See, sometimes this Be Live is. So I'll just get started. Hopefully you can hear me. I am Samantha Pointer. I am the technology organizing guru at Get It Together. I help entrepreneurs become tech savvy and digitally organized. And today's tech chat, I'm going to be talking about taking time to organize your written notes in your digital system. And this is one that I like to this is one that I like to say that I'm marrying paper and digital, because not everybody wants to leave behind some of their paper products. So I like to show ways that you can marry paper and digital products. So today, that's what I've been doing. I've had a backlog of notes on sticky notes and things of that nature. And so I needed to get them into my, awesome, thanks, Valerie. So I needed to get them into my digital system, which is Evernote. And so I needed to take some time today to do that because I felt frazzled. I have a lot of big things coming up soon. Hey, Dr. Finch, how are you doing? I have, thanks for joining. I have a lot of things coming up and I was just feeling like all over the place. And I have a coaching session tomorrow to help with my business. So I needed to get all of my notes corralled that I've been taking and jotting down ideas here and there. So I took some time today to actually put those notes that are in sticky notes into my digital system, which is Evernote. So I just want to tell you how that process is. So you would need to set aside 1 to 2 hours, especially if you have a large load of notes. I take notes in notebooks, sticky notes, random envelopes, which makes some people, drives them crazy. Like wherever I am, I'm taking a note. I don't always grab my phone and throw the note in there. Sometimes it's just quicker for me to jot it down on a random piece of paper. So I had a large amount that I was putting in, okay? So set aside 1 to 2 hours if that happens to be you, where you have a lot of notes that you need to scan in. And I use Evernote is my digital system for almost everything when it comes to keeping up with notes and PDFs and things of that nature. Yes, I use OneDrive and Google Drive and, you know, a slew of other things, but Evernote is like the mothership, okay? So set aside 1 to 2 hours. And then the process I did was I created, you could go 1 or 2 routes. So route 1 is you can scan into a generic notebook that you create. So for me, I did notes, ideas, and action. Okay, those were my generic notebooks. And then you would go back later and organize that information into what you already have set up in your system. And again, I'm using Evernote for my notes, so I already have pre-created folders in Evernote for different subjects, but I just did generic uh, notes folder and a generic ideas folder and a generic action folder. Okay. So then I'm gonna go back later and actually go through each item and put it where it belongs, or get rid of it if I really didn't need it. And so you're gonna have to schedule, if you go that route, you're gonna have to schedule time to do that follow up. Okay. And it might be another hour or two that you schedule in. Again, if you have a lot of notes that you entered in, plan on an hour or two to do that. Okay. And do you use Post-it? Yes, I do those too. So you can post the note. So you can post it into your phone. Yes. And I actually used my phone. And so I'm going to pull up see if you can see it. So this is my Evernote app. Okay. And what I love about Evernote is you can scan in. It's so intuitive. If you hit that, you can scan in audio, photos, or a reminder. So I just did photos, and it's very quick. That's what I love about Evernote. It's very quick. So all I did was hold it over each particular note, whether it was a Post-it note or a note out of a notebook or something like that. I held it over and scanned it. It automatically captures everything and digitizes it, which I love. And so that's how I put it in there. So then the second route you can take is to scan it in where it goes to begin with. This takes longer because, again, you're going to have to make decisions and read everything, read the notes that you took. And so you want to make sure that you schedule the necessary time that it's going to take to do this. And you might have to break it into sessions. So you might want to start with an hour. You might want to start with 2 hours or 4 hours at the most, the first time around, again, depending on how many you got, if you're going to take the route of scanning it in to the folder that it needs to go. And I'll just pull up my my Evernote again. Let's see. So on my note, I have different notebooks, actions, inbox, ideas. Hopefully you can see that. Business cards. So I have pre-set up notebooks. So if you're going to do route 2, where you actually scan it into where it goes, just realize it's going to take longer because you have to look at every piece of information you're scanning in, and you're going to want to make decisions on them as you're doing that. So schedule the necessary time and break them into sessions. Now, let's see. The benefits are twofold with this. Oh, you can see. Yeah, okay. It's kind of hard to put up your phone screen because it's blaring too. So I have different folders in there, but there's benefits with scanning in my notes and taking scheduled time to do this. And I would suggest you do this at least once a week so it doesn't become a whole mound of notes that you're having to put in, and so that it won't take up a lot of time. And I'm looking at the notes that I wrote on this because I was just like, oh. So one of the biggest benefits is it helped me remember things that I had written down a long time ago, especially last year, some of the ideas I had and hadn't executed yet, some of the blog post ideas I had, or video ideas I had, or business ideas I hadn't looked at in a long time. So it helped jog my memory and get me excited again and get me motivated to get back on that. So that is the benefit, especially if you schedule this in weekly as a admin task in your business. I think you're going to find that it's going to help with your creativity and motivation, especially as ideas pour in. A lot of us get a lot of ideas all the time, and if you're cluttered and your brain is cluttered with all this information and you never take time to execute it or really map out what you put down, then it's worth nothing. So I think by you doing this at least once a week and not letting it get to a backlog and like scheduling this in to where it becomes habit, you're going to get great benefit. More ideas are going to flow, and you're probably going to execute more in your business this year if you do that. Hey, Felicia, how you doing? So it helped me to remember things that I had written long ago. Another benefit was I was able to review how far I've come and what I've accomplished, even just in a year. Things I had written down at the beginning of last year, or even at the end of 2015, to see that, oh man, I did that, or oh man, that really happened, is incredibly motivating. And so it's good, again, if you schedule this every week to do this, or at the most every 2 weeks, you don't have to wait till the end of the year to get motivated and be excited for where you've gone in your business, especially on days where you might not feel as confident in your abilities or as confident in, why am I an entrepreneur in the first place. Looking back on those accomplishments or notes that you've taken and seeing that you've actually done them and executed them is going to help keep you going forward and pushing forward in your business. Okay. And so when I scan these notes and everything, I tear it up and throw it away. Okay. I don't need that paper clutter. It's in Evernote. They have redundant backup, and I can always download everything and have it uploaded to another cloud solution or external hard drive where I have a backup of my backup, but Evernote keeps redundant backup. So there's really slim to none chance that you'll lose all your notes ever, if that's one of your concerns. So once I scan it, I toss it and throw it out. Okay. Especially if it's papers and stickies that are loose. And I'll show you an example because I still have a stack left. Those, once I scan it, I throw it and toss it. Now, if it's in a notebook where I've actually written in a notebook, I might scan the pages in the notebook, but I don't throw away the notebook. That can be filed with my other notebooks, okay? But I have the information where it doesn't have to be sitting, taking up real estate on my desk or whatever, especially if you filled a notebook full of notes or journal or whatever. It's good sometimes to scan those pages in, and then you can still keep the hard copy. Let's see. Another benefit, well, I talked about that. It helps keep you motivated and your creativity flowing. So I'm going to show you kind of an example. So this is one of my notebooks. It is a moleskin. Yeah, moleskin. It's a new one where moleskin chapters, I believe it's called. And so like here, I have loose notes in here. So I would scan the loose notes and throw the notes away once I've scanned them. But the notebook, I still have plenty of pages left. And I like moleskin notebooks. These, I think I picked up at Target. They come in, I want to say 2 different sizes. So there's this size, which is a little skinny compact. It's called moleskin chapters, because it actually is, it has about, I want to say 6 chapters in it. So each note section can be its own note section. And then at the back is a place for to-do lists, and you can list what the chapters are. So I like these, and I have a slightly wider size too. So what I would do is scan in the notes, but keep this notebook. until it's filled. And once I've scanned in all the notes, then this can be filed away. Okay. Here's another one of my notebooks. Let's see. Okay. And pad. Again, just random notes I've taken. So again, that would be scanned in and filed under notes, and then I can go back and put it where it belongs, because that was the route I took this time. So here's an example of what I have left of random notes, okay? So I have big sticky notes. I feel about notebooks how I feel about planners. You can never have too many. And so I'm kind of a notebook snob. If it's all about the paper for me and how dark the lines are. So I'll get a notebook and try it out. I've gotten notebooks from conferences I've gone to, especially organizing a conference. The first thing they hand you is a freaking notebook. So I have tons of notebooks from conferences. And so some I might, give away or send to somebody, or maybe do a giveaway. I still have tons of notebooks that I've never used that, that I'll eventually give away to somebody. But that's the thing with the notebooks. So at the end of last year, I had decided that I was going to keep everything in one notebook. And so I've been doing I've been pretty good about keeping everything to one notebook in the past couple of months. So, but this is from a year's worth of random notes that I put in, and some I have scanned in and just didn't get around to throwing it away. But today it was bothering me so bad because I just felt cluttered. Like, you cannot execute when you're disorganized. And so having all my notes scattered about made me feel disorganized in the brain. So yeah. So again, random note on an envelope. Random note on a note page that actually goes inside my planner. If I'm at my desk, and I'll grab one of these and just write, especially when I'm doing and see too many notebooks. Having too many notebooks going at the same time can be a very big problem. And I hear that a lot with my clients is, oh my God, I have notebooks everywhere, so that's like your brain being in 5 or 6 different places. It's too much. So if you can get everything down to one notebook, even, the one notebook I have, even though if I'm writing on sticky notes, I can put the sticky notes inside that one notebook, so it's kept in there. So I might have client things that I printed off the web. If I didn't send it directly in the Evernote and I needed to jot down some information, I would then just scan this in and then throw away the actual paper part of it. I have little stickies like that. I have teeny tiny pieces of paper that I've written on. So, and don't get me started on project planner cards, which is what this is. I went through that phase where I was like, oh, I'm just going to journal and blah, blah, blah. Okay, so I have random notes on that too. That fits into my planner. That's a whole nother live tech chat. But so that's what I'll do is I'll go through, scan everything into Evernote, and then toss the paper. And then everything's clean and organized again. I can get to my notes. Even if you don't, what I love about Evernote is even if you don't get back to scheduling where it's supposed to be, I can find it through search, because Evernote recognizes the characters in photos. So all I have to do is type in a search term and it pulls up everything with that search term. So that is a backup you can why I love Evernote. And if you want to learn how to use Evernote, they've just come out with Evernote 8.0 for iPhone, and they've just redesigned it and everything. Yes, they've just uh, redesigned it. So there's some updates to how it's faster. I think I've touched on it, but I don't think I've gone in depth with Evernote before on Tech Chat. I do have on a Tech Chat to talk about Evernote versus OneNote, so maybe I'll do that next week. But I do have in my Sam's Tech Academy my Evernote. And hey Esther, how you doing? I have in my Sam's Tech Academy, bit.ly/Sam's Tech Academy. I have an Evernote course that I did. It was a 2-hour course where I broke down how to organize your folders in there, what folders you should have in there. And really, it was 2 hours, go in depth with notes and everything, cheat sheets. And so you can head over to bit.ly/Sam's Tech Academy to pick up that course because it will give you a great foundation on how to use Evernote to organize not just your business, but your personal life too, because I use it for personal and business. And thank you, Valerie, for putting that up there. Okay. So, yeah, but I think I will talk next week on Evernote versus OneNote versus, some best practices. We'll touch on that because I believe writing is the best thing, to cement it in your brain. But I also like the convenience of having it on my phone or tablet or wherever I am. I like that convenience. I like that I can get to it. And so that's why I say I marry paper and digital together. They can coexist happily. And so I'm glad I got to share with you all how I do that and to show you a real world example of how I keep organized and how I'm clearing the clutter in my own brain today. I feel so much better because I've gotten that done. So I can focus on what I need to do, and I can go into my coaching session tomorrow and be able to share with my coach some of the ideas I had and, where I was going. So I can answer those questions of why and, so I can be more articulate in what I'm trying to achieve in my business. So again, take time to organize your written notes into your digital system. And Evernote is great. It's free. Most people can get away with using the free version, but I highly recommend you get the paid version. I believe it is $69 a year now, which is worth it because I can scan and annotate PDFs. I can upload all type of documents into it and use it to photograph things and keep up with everything. So definitely check out Evernote. But whatever system you use, digital system, make sure that you schedule time to actually go in and put those notes in that you've scribbled everywhere so you can keep up with your ideas, so you can always be reminded of what you have going on, so you can keep your clients' information organized and not just have papers floating everywhere. And if you schedule it at least weekly and have it as part of your weekly business habit, you won't have to spend so much time doing this. You'll have a little stack. And I have in my office, I have a bin that says scan because I do run a nearly paperless office except for the random notes I'm doing. All of my client stuff is housed in the cloud or is digital. So, and I know I said last week we were having the paperless masterclass this week, but we actually, to give people more time to sign up, we're having it next Wednesday and Thursday. It is for those who want to learn how to go paperless, how to go paperless in your business, what things can be made paperless in your business. And it's 2 days. It's right. It's a 2 day event. So I'm going to be teaming up with Lena Opria, and we're going to share with you our best practices for running a paperless office business, how to do that, the steps to take. And it's only $27 for those 2 days. So you want to go to bit.ly/going paperless MC and grab your seat. And it's 1 p.m. Central Standard Time both days. That's on a Wednesday and a Thursday. So the 25th and 26th. I dropped last night in the group a graphic with the information, so you can go back there and look. But I would love to see some of you, if not all of you, on that class. And because of that, next Wednesday, I'm going to do tech chat earlier than 2:00 p.m. So I'll still show up here, but I would love to see you on the Going Paperless Masterclass. I think everyone should incorporate going paperless in your business. You don't have to, no business is going to be totally paperless because we get in papers every day, but you can run a near paperless business as much as you can, and there are steps you can take and tools you can use to achieve that, and there's benefits to that. So join me next week. Again, it's bit.ly/going paperless MC is where you can grab your tickets. It's $27 for 2 days of this class. So make sure you head over there and grab your seat. And so that's all I have for today. Thank you for everyone who joined in. Thank you for the replay viewers. If you have any questions on what I talked about today, just drop them into the comments sections. Right. So just drop them into the comment sections. I'll be happy to answer those for you, especially if you're going to be catching this later on today or this weekend when you get time. And I want y'all to have a great rest of the day. Thank you for joining me. Again, the class, my Going Paperless Masterclass with Lena Opria is next week, Wednesday and Thursday, $27 for 2 days worth of information for 2 days worth of classes. So that's bit.ly/going paperless MC. And also check out, thank you, Dr. Finch, and check out Sam's Tech Academy for that Evernote course. And I am still working on putting in the course for getting your business, dejunking your business, I'm still putting that in, and I'm going to have a few other courses going up kind of quickly before the end of the month. So I will keep y'all abreast of that. But thank you for joining me. Yes, we should. We need to. So reach out to me so we can set that up, because I'm trying to do more collaborations this year, especially with people who are tech savvy, and because it's time to get businesses on the right path when it comes to getting your business organized, especially the technology, and getting over that fear. I really want businesses to win, and in 2017 is time to get that going. So thank you all for joining me. I am going to finish scanning these papers, and then it's time to go get my kids from school. So I hope y'all have a great rest of the day. And again, any questions you might have, just drop them into the comments of this post. If you have any requests for what you want to see, please drop them into the into the group because I do keep a note of all of that. So y'all have a great rest of the day. Bye.